It is certainly the heavyweight of all the award shows. It is the Oscars. It'll take place this Sunday. 10 movies up for Best Picture. You probably haven't seen all of them. Our guest has seen all of them. Yes? Dr. Ernesto Acevedo-Muñoz, the professor of cinema studies at CU, joins us now to talk about what's happening with Hollywood. And before we talk about this year's pictures, let's talk about diversity, because it's been such a topic of conversation for the past several years, from the Golden Globes to the Oscars, etc. Is it changing? Is it changing both in the films that are being made and the awards that are being presented?
Interestingly, the answer to that, as all often would be the case, is yes and no. It is changing. It's if you ask most of us, me as a person of color who identifies, Latino, Puerto Rican, it's not changing fast enough. Yeah. But the reality is that the Hollywood institution, just like the university, that is the institution that I know the best, is very slow to change. But the fact that there is movement, that Academy membership has expanded significantly to include people who would otherwise have been marginalized is an important development. But an industry that has been for 100 years dominated by a certain demographic, namely, tall, right-handed, heterosexual white men. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but that's the truth.
It's time for change, and the pressure is real. And interestingly, there's also a lot of support. Right, the world is not the same that it was at the end of the classical era in the 1960s or something.
Yeah. So CODA changed things last year as far as streaming, having the weight to carry a Best Picture award winner. And now I think so many people do see these films at home as opposed to in theaters. You were saying 9 of the 10 nominees you did see in theaters, and
I did.
Certainly with some it makes a big difference.
Right, and as a professional film scholar, to me, part of my interest in the cinema is also the experience of going to the cinema, right? And some of us still long for the years when there was expectation, where you had to stand in line, where you have to rush to get good seats. And now that has shifted somewhat to streaming services, while at the same time, because of his own deal with Paramount Pictures, Tom Cruise would not allow Maverick to be streamed until, very recently, right?
Sure.
And so
changes that experience in a big way.
And talk about a movie that was specifically designed for the spectacle of size and sound, right? One of the things that even the best home theater systems cannot recreate is the sound, the Dolby surround immersive experience of a movie theater. And some movies are meant to be big.
So I don't want you to predict, we won't ask you all that stuff, but is there a trend you expect to see on Sunday?
Well, those of us who do read the trades and keep track of the award shows, there are years in which things are so apparently decided from way before
it seems like
we even start anything. This year, it would look like Everything Everywhere is a front runner, but mostly because none of the other 9 nominees has really emerged to give it some competition, right? But interesting, you mentioned CODA. One of the unexpected things about CODA is that last year everybody expected that The Power of the Dog was going to be, because it was the front runner until the last 2 or 3 weeks before the Oscars, which is when that trend started to shift, and suddenly we see CODA win Best Picture and Power of the Dog win Best Director, which was great for Jane Campion and terrific. But this year, I don't see that surprise element building up. And if it was building up, it would have been building up already.
So many people are going to be watching. They always do. This is the year after the slap, so we will see how they portray that and how the awards themselves go. We really appreciate you coming in and chatting about with it for a few minutes, and look forward to Sunday night.
Very much my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and thanks to the viewers.
All right, Ernesto Acevedo-Muñoz from the CU Cinema Studies Department.